Hello everybody, and of course welcome back to Dickie's videos, where no war game remains unplayed, well, for a certain amount of time. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, of course with the Field of Glory 2 Slytherin Tournament, the Rise and Fall of Carthage. Well, this is a Rise of Carthage, definitely, in this part of this video. So this is, of course, round 2 with the pyrrhic versus Carthaginian. And if you've watched the videos before this, of course, I'm doing this tactical overview to give you a brief overshot over sea, sight. I hope you enjoy this video, kind of what I talk about what I did and what I did wrong. So like in the Carthaginian video, which I published today as well, we actually talked about my defeat, and this of course was another defeat, and I'd like to tell everybody about my defeats because it's just I learned just as much about them as I do my victories, I've got to say. And if you've seen the other video, the Carthage one I've just done for round 2, I've talked about that I've actually played all of my round 3 with the Roman and Carthaginian. Stay tuned for that because it's coming up in the next couple of days, and of course I will do the overview talk for them. So let's have a look at deployment. As of course, remember, the Carthaginian forces have all of the hills. This is not a very good starting position. There we go. So one thing I know about this, because I finished this game just before my Carthaginian game, the hill is good. I looked at the terrain, ignored the right just because of the mass of rough terrain. So this is unfortunately a filtering position for me. So my filtering position is this way. Filtering position, keeping my pikes to my right, my left, and then of course the attack of the medium foot, which unfortunately went absolutely pear-shaped, I've got to say. And this is probably not my finest hour, but I think people who are watching this and who are, of course, followers of my channel, I like to talk about my defeats as well, because defeats are important for everybody to learn. We're going to click the play and see what happens. So I thought that I'm going to have to push on here, get on that hill, knock him off, because as I can see him right now, he's on this mid-left section, and the fact is I thought, yeah, it's going to take him a couple of turns to get down there, and oh, was I wrong. You see, now this is where I agree, quantity can exceed quality and still win. And I've got to say, my opponent is a fantastic person in actually hiding units in pieces of in hidden terrain, but also in buildings. Because as in my Carthaginian game, when he was playing I can't even say it now, the Pike People's Army, he hid quite a lot of things. So as you can see, it is a race to the sea. It is a race to get over that hill and into a better position. But unfortunately, I do get absolutely hammered out here. And he's got lots of cavalry on that left side. But I've got a kind of thought to this in playing Field of Glory as long as I have now. If some troops are far away from the main line, they eventually will make an impact on the battle. They have not been touched. They are full strength units that will hurt your already worn down army. And I've known this playing my Viking list. As I can see here, I'm quite happy that I know he's not positioned. But as you can see, the centre, his left side, his right flank from his position, has Spanish. He's got some medium troops. I don't know if he hid anything in these buildings, because it'd be nice to see that. But as you can see, I'm funneling and I'm thinking, yes, it's going to go well. But as on my Carthaginian side, I was very slow to react to his push. And of course, this light fight is sloggingly difficult for me here. And I was hoping to catch some of his heavy foot on that rough terrain and then take advantage of that push. But I reacted too slow. But hey ho, that's the way it goes. I know what happens if I ever fight a Pike army or the Carthaginians again. Is just engage them on your terms, overestimating your ability with the troops you have. And like I said, I'm not particularly a Pike army. I don't like Pike armies, simple as, you know, they are nice when they're actually smashing down medium troops, but if you use them wrong like I have, it does not go well. But yeah, I'm sure people who are watching this enjoy Pike armies, and I'm like, oh yes, I can get further on. But when you look at the number advantage just looking at this, pausing it for a second. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 units. So instantly having that slight numerical advantage. We're going to skip ahead and see where we end up. So, particularly bad situation. Most of his troops, medium troops, are on that rough terrain, ready to use the advantage, and I cannot charge them with the pikes. So, I think if to play it again, I would not go that further. And that cavalry now, pulling my cavalry, I'm thinking I can still deflect that cavalry to the right, but of course it's going to be particularly not nice. There we go. So now this is where I pivot and I make the mistake, and I think the elephant goes a little bit gun-hay here. I think I should have pushed up to block his troops on that rough terrain, but he's only got mediums on there, and mediums on the left as well, because he's got the medium spearmen. But I don't know where I go wrong here. I don't know where I go wrong, because I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, that cavalry's on the left. It's been... I felt good that I've done that cavalry push, but he's now got the POA of all this hill in front of us, as you see. So we're just in a bad position here, and that cavalry's just going to swing round. And if I can't deal it with my cavalry, it's going to be an awful mess. So I think I can't remember what I was hoping for. You could out-cavalry the pikes and stuff, but like I said, I'm not a pike fanatic, so probably I'll be interested to see how other people played this, and if I might go and look at Stuggup on his channel, see if he's put it on there, or if he was even playing. But I don't know anybody, YouTubers or content creators, that were playing that have published their videos, which is very, very few, which I could probably count on one hand. There we go. We tried to anti-light cavalry at the right side. Of course, now forming the cavalry up to face his cavalry on the right. Slight advantage on him, but I'm happy with the left. I'm happy with that left side, that left cavalry pushing there. And now, it goes for the push. I'm trying to look at the point where I went, oh, he messed up. He knew he messed up. And I think when I here we go, this is the javelins. And sometimes I've got one, and actually a game coming soon where one unit of javelins came up to the elephant, threw one barrage and disrupted it, and I was like, yeah, that's GG, good game, laddos. But there we go, where the push is over. Particularly fine, just still on the basis of this. I'm really happy that I'm publishing these videos in HD now, because it's such a difference to watch. I think he was hiding a unit of javelin troops on the left, and I didn't notice that until now. And this is the charge. This is the first of many mistakes. The elephant is now going to get absolutely shafted, and I'm panicking. I'm sweating beads here. Yeah, he got a light cavalry unit on that extreme left, which I didn't see before. I'm still quite happy with the positioning of the cavalry, particularly here moving up. But as you can see, he did not move his medium troops off that rough terrain. I think I over push here. Oh god, we're like only 12 minutes in and I'm jabbering away. So we're going to skip ahead a little bit. We'll skip to the 20-minute mark and we can see what happens in 20 minutes. Because like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it's a long video. Actually, we'll go a bit further back because that is where the action starts. So there we go. We engage forward. He broke the elephant. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to have to go back because here we go. So the elephant's fine. So there we go. It's the flank charge that did it. He did actually catch the elephant in the front and then charge, disordering the Italian foot. Massive holes in the flanks right now. Everybody's engaged. He has the numbers here, and you can see him funneling through the top of that hill and also blocking the cavalry. And I think I moved one of the noble cavalry units back, then which disordered the cavalry, which was another bad move there. There's going to be more bad moves here. I don't think I made a particularly... I think I should have stopped before getting to that rough terrain. And I think a couple of bad charges and bad impacts. And of course, I think I try and overly push the left side with the 2 Italian foot units. But I think I did well with that cavalry putting a thing. And I don't think the troops dropped as fast as I wanted them to. So he caught me there with the javelin cavalry. And most of the cavalry just fleeing off. So instantly now he has that cavalry advantage on the right. I've got it on the left, but he's trying to disorder the cavalry with javelins and stuff on that left side. But I felt I positioned right, but positioned too far for positioned right at the first instance. Sorry, but I should have not pushed forward as much as I did. The elephant lost a lot of points there straight away, so that was of course the issue straight away there. And my cavalry is getting munched. And the Italian foot cannot match them African spearmen. This is what I do. I keep advancing round with that Italian foot unit, hoping to get the flank, and then I could just walk down that flank side there. But he is moving the hoplites in the rear. We disordered. I don't know what went wrong here. I think maybe I should have waited another turn. But we did disrupt the medium spearmen there. But as I notice here, he's fantastic at moving his general around. But I think here, more than anything, you see the numbers game. Once I'm engaged, I'm fixed in position. And that is where the problem is. I can see it when we go up to the north again. That's the problem. This is the problem here, ladies and gentlemen. Right here. This is the entire problem in that entire game. And I think that what it does is that splits our forces into 2 and is going to cause absolute havoc. That flank there with these 2 units is going to be brutal. This is where I think I thought, yeah, the elephant dropping. The elephant was there, and that's where the main problem was. Not that I played particularly bad anyway, but that's where that Italian foot unit is going to drop like dropping a ball. There's my imagination for you, ladies and gentlemen. And of course the cavalry particularly performing unwell and fleeing, but he doing the combined infantry and cavalry tactics. He keeps, you see what I notice here as well, he keeps nicking away with the light cavalry, and even I think some of my pikemen particularly performing unwell against even the medium troops and the pushbacks. But you can see his fragmented unit in the centre, but also my fragmented unit underneath it. The pushback there, and then that Spanish unit right on that centre unit. You see it right there on the mouse. Right there. That's what I'm worried about straight away, because we push forward. You see, this is what I'm talking about in most of my games. Pushbacks, but push forwards could be devastating for either side, and one critical moment could like a playing card, you're off. He's got blockers for my cavalry, a good rally, that was for him. But yeah, the cavalry fight is a mess on that right, and it's only going to put pressure. They break, which is good, but unfortunately still the issue is here. I've got the advantage with the pikes. I don't think, does he break? He does break. The issue is here is the fact is all of his troops are on the rough terrain. My pikemen are going, meh, we can't even go anywhere near that, so he can zone of control me out. And this is where I push there, which is not a problem, but he can also POA. He can turn around and get me in his zone of control so I can't charge. And he's, like I said, he's very crafty at moving his sub-generals around. And I've noticed that it's wherever you want them, that POA advantage. And that hill there, the POA advantage of that Spanish unit on the hill, general, impact. Boom, boom, boom on us. Yeah, so here, particularly anti-cavalry, I'm not feeling this fight whatsoever. But that's just it. It's the combined tactics of that infantry unit controlling me out. And there we go. Even against the unit there, I'm not wanting to fight this Italian foot unit right now. Oh, just all them things. Here we go. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. And off you go, laddo. You see, now he can set up a flank position here, and I cannot do anything to stop him. but still very tight at this point. I'm pretty happy with the point where we are. And here we go. Look, there we go. Free roam on that point. Mr. Dumbo, where were you where we needed you? That point with the elephant, but I charged forward. And I think it was either I was going to charge forward, he was going to smash me. But also the Spanish coming off that hill is going to hurt. And once the pikes get outnumbered and thing, all I can do is form square. It keeps attacking it. I don't know why. I think what he's doing here is there's loads of units panicked below side, so he can't be pushed back. Even if this guy's pushed back, he can't push back. So maybe this was his tactic all along. So watching this again, he was maybe just keeping me static and stuck there while he advances next to me. So maybe that was his whole idea there. But it's taken me to watch this to see that what was actually doing. Amazingly holding firm. There's the cavalry at the back being zone controlled out to days, unfortunately. And of course the lights there to punish the cavalry for sitting there. But any good player would do that. He's got that one bloody general in that unit of bloody mercenary hoplites, and it's just taking the P to drop it. If that would have dropped a turn or two. So push forward, but yet again, numbers. This is what I'm talking about, that count at the start of the game. And of course, the Italian foot at the rear at the top where I'm trying to flank doesn't drop. And I'm sitting there trying to pull this unit. So we're going to skip it over to 31 minutes and see what's happened. Oh, God, a lot of things have happened there. Okay, so a couple of units have dropped that centre point. The pikes are in a bad position against that rough terrain. My cavalry pushing through as far as possible. Still not enough. Still 2%. These two games were more close than I expected. It was a loss, but a very close in the game. And my opponent, of course, I think is a very skilled opponent. But he got the flanks. He set the flanks up. Where the elephant dropped is where the flank. Like I said, I'm blaming the elephant. Don't blame me, guys. It's the elephant. And I sat there forming squares because I'm a chicken. And there we go. The cavalry is just going to be extra points on his cards here. You see, what happened here as well in the rear is the Italian foot unit that was there engaging actually, I think it double dropped, or it dropped horrendously bad. That the African spearmen had enough time to turn around and look at the flanking force and then have some muchos killy on that unit. Okay, we're going to skip to 35 and watch it from 35 because we know we've been outpositioned. We know we've been outflanked. The cavalry, of course, taking an absolute pounding to that rear, bringing it to 15 points. But you know what? Like I said, regardless of the loss here, I'm quite impressed with my performance here. But like I said, even as a non-pike player, and I know a lot of people who I play, but now here, the rough terrain. That one African spearman unit at the top that took on two Italian foot units. My bad positioning. Maybe I should have just turned the cavalry around before the cavalry assaulting around the side. And the top cavalry unit here is going to get pummeled. But using that rough terrain to his advantage, like any good player should, that unit of pikes is in a lot of trouble. Not all the pikes in Macedon are going to help you there. You see, even that unit not being dragged into the rough terrain is being engaged. An engaged unit can be flanked. And he's got, of course, like I said, the numbers to do this. He's got two flanks here. I have one flank against the mercenary hoplites in the rear, but it's still not particularly a fantastic push. But I think this was actually a less of a defeat than my Carthaginian defeat. Oh, here we go. This was me. Fragmented. I thought that might drop more. Just panicking here. Panicking. And there's no way I was going to... And there we go with against the hoplites. And I think we just get bashed back. Yeah, this unfortunately I think the cavalry's been nerfed a little bit. But I think I got on... no, it wasn't unlucky. It was slightly unlucky, but more due to bad tactics more than anything else. But post your comments below because I'd like to hear them. And of course, we're about to get absolutely flambéed here. I need some dramatic music to play when I did. I'm gonna have to get something to play when I do something stupid. So, of course, fighting the fragmented unit first, but no further drops because it's always been dropped. And the points are in the prizes. Points are in the pikes. Points are in the pikes. And he hold firm. I can't say that was slightly good. So we're coming up to the 38 minutes out of the 44 second video. Out-cavalried. Out-positioned on the rough terrain, but interesting to see how my opponent does and what he hides in the backside. Because I know, like I said, I noticed that light unit to the left that he hid, and I think we're just coming to the centre point of the battle where we do drop. But it wasn't that bad. I've had worse defeats. And I've had better victories, to be honest with you. But there we go. The pikes. He had the flanks, 56% at the moment in time. A flank, and they're going to draw. Boom, 60. There's the game. I've been waiting to this video for a while, and I've just not had the time to do it. And it's really interesting to watch then the back and forth of it again. Oh, that pike unit just taking it like a boss. Oh, he's going after my lights on the top left side. Points mean prizes. That's 1 point extra to him on the league table. Unless we get like an amazing rally here, which I know doesn't happen, and you don't doesn't happen. So dispersed back to the land of spears and pikes, wherever that is in Greece. God, that was a long replay. That was just painful watching. Go on, Richard. Get back to the field. There we go. We can talk about this now. Okay, so there we go. A couple key points. I'm not a pike player. I should have stopped here. Should not have pushed on here. It was wishful thinking. Don't get me wrong. If all it tells me is this point here. Let them come in. They came in here and just flooded in, and this was the main point I spoke about. But also getting out cavalried on that right point. Harsh, but fair. So. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. It was a utter defeat. My round 2 was not my best, but I really enjoyed that, and it was just an eye-opener for the different, of course, the more Greek-style fight, showing you how probably a medium army can still defeat a heavy foot by using the terrain. Just that, if that rough terrain wasn't there, I think it would have been mighty different. And of course, units dropping, units keeping, it's particularly interesting. So, click that like, click that subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, we'll see you hopefully on the Roman field of battle coming soon. Round 3 is on its way, folks, and bye-bye.